Hi everyone, welcome to or welcome back to my channel, So Little Time, and my name is Karen. So I hope you're all doing really well and thank you very much for joining me today. Today's video is going to be a roundup of what I've been getting up to recently. Firstly, I will just say that the sun is going in and out, so I do apologise if I am squinting, but this is the best room in the house for me to film in at the moment. And you will probably notice that there's a slight change in the background to the usual photos that we have up there of the boys. So we've had some work done to the house, finally. And we've had all new radiators, so we put a long one in here because we think it would be more beneficial in our conservatory because it does get really, really cold during the winter months. So yeah, hopefully that should function well enough for us to be warm in this room. We do have a coal fire in the what we call the back room, which does kind of heat up this area as well, but that should hopefully generate a little bit more heat compared to the old radiator that was there, which was absolutely disgusting as well. So we've had all new radiators and we've had the electrician in to do a new fuse box and some new wiring and stuff. So yeah, work is finally starting in this house, which I'm really, really excited about, but it's going to get worse before it gets better. Anyway, that aside, I have feel like I need to give you an update as to where I've been at with my sewing. I am finding it really difficult at the moment to get on and film videos for you. So I don't want to sort of overpromise and under-deliver, as it were. So I think the last time I spoke to you really was for Me Made May. So I'll touch on that first of all. So I didn't complete what I anticipated myself to set out to do, I suppose, but I have made a good start. So I had 3 fabrics that I was very scared to cut into, and that was kind of my pledge for Me Made May, was to cut into some fabrics that I was really scared to cut into and to finally make them into some garments. So I did change one of the patterns that I had lined up for one of those fabrics just to sort of push me in the right direction to get it made, because it was just unfortunate that it had been sat there in my stash for such a long time. And that was the boiled wool that I bought from Guthrie and Garney. So I'm happy to say that I have finally cut into it, and to prove that I have, I'm just going to show you here a piece that I've cut. It's actually for the Longline Jacket by Sew Different Patterns, and I have made that in the past, and I'll insert a photo of myself wearing the jacquard version that I made a couple of years ago, and I absolutely love the style of this jacket. It's kind of an open style, and it's just has a dressy kind of feel to it, and I thought having a plain one would be nice to have in my wardrobe so I can wear it with a lot more other things really. So I have cut into it, so that's the facing piece, as you can see. What I'm up to now with that is I need to interface certain sections, and then I can just get on with the general sewing of it. So I'm hopefully going to be showing you that in a future video. But I have kind of put it to one side for now just because it's got really warm, so I don't feel inclined to sew it up right now. But I will be getting onto that very soon. And then the other fabric that I had, which was lined up for a rain jacket, and that was for the Lara Sana truffle raincoat pattern, and this was the funky fabric with the sunglassed ladies on it, and that's the hood piece. So that is all cut out, ready to go as well, but again I haven't got round to sewing that up. I would have liked to have done that really ready for my holiday in a couple of weeks time. We're just going down to Cornwall for a couple of weeks, but I do think we are due another heat wave whilst we're there, so fingers crossed, because it's gone quite chilly here in the UK at the moment, although I am wearing a summer dress today, but it's warm in the house. Yeah, so I'm excited to get that made actually. Now I have got it all cut out, ready to go. Again, I just need to interface quite a lot of the sections ready to sew it up, so it's the prep work that takes the longest, isn't it really? So that's what I'm doing, and I've got all of the bits that I need, the zip and everything, so I should just be able to get on with that. Hopefully when I get back from holiday, that would be quite nice. And then the last one that I was going to sew up was the Megan Nielsen Havana Jacket, and I am happy to say that I've cut into my fabric and I have made a start on it, so I'll show you as far as I've got. Now what I will say is that myself and Angela from Devon Thread Tales, we went to Birmingham a few weeks back now and met up together, and we had a really lovely day out in Birmingham. We weren't really set out to do any fabric shopping, we just wanted to get together and have a little wander around the shops, and then we all went out for dinner in the evening, so with Simon and John, and that was really nice actually because they'd never met before, but they got on really, really well, and we had a lovely, lovely day. It was really nice to get together because we've made such good friends since meeting through the sewing community, and it's just, you know, nice to get together every now and again because we live so far apart, we don't see each other very often, although we are on the phone to each other every day, near enough. But whilst we were there, we did make a trip to Guthrie Garney because we thought it would be rude not to. So I'll insert some photos that Angela kindly took of us sort of in Birmingham, and also I think she did take some of the inside of the fabric shop as well, so I think I've got those, so I'm sure she won't mind me sharing them with you. So yeah, we had a nice trip into there, and whilst we were there I did try on the Megan Nielsen Havana coat that had been made up as a sample on the rail in the shop, which was really good because I've been debating over what size to make, because it is quite a boxy style jacket, and it's sort of the finished measurements for the garment are the same for the bust, waist and hips, I believe, and I'm making the cropped style, the one with the band that goes round the neck, so it's not the one with the binding around it. So I was really wondering which size to go for, so I was really fortunate to have been able to visit the shop, try on the sample, and I'm really glad that I did that actually, because Lauren had made it up in a size 4, and I was kind of thinking of making, I think, a size 8. And when I tried the size 4 on in the shop, it fitted me perfectly. So I'm really glad that I did that, because I would have made it way too big for myself. So I have cut it out, but the fabric that I'm using is this quilted fabric that I got from Higgs and Higgs whilst I was at the stitching show in Birmingham. I can't remember what it's called now. I think it was Sewing for Pleasure show. And I really, really like it. It's got a reverse on it as well, which I really like. So I'm not lining this one, I'm doing the unlined version. And I'm really happy with how it's turning out so far. So how far I've got with it is that I've cut all the, obviously, the pattern pieces out, and I've just put the shoulder seams together, and then I've put on the front the little pockets as well. So that looks really cute. But this fabric is quite thick, and it is quite stable in that it's not got a lot of, well, it's not very, it's soft, but it's very stiff in a way. And I've tried it on as it is like this, and it looks really, really boxy. So I'm hoping once I've got the sleeves in that it's gonna relax the shoulders a little bit, because it is quite wide. So I'm glad that I've gone for the size 4, because if I'd gone any bigger, it would be sticking out quite a lot because of the way that this fabric is quite structured. So I just put it on as it is so you can see what I mean. But yeah, as you can see, it's quite sticky outy, but I think once I get the sleeves in, obviously you take into consideration the seam allowance, so that will fold in, because it is 1.5 centimetre seam allowance. You can see already that that's softened that, so I think once the sleeves are on, then that will look absolutely fine. If I stand up, you'll see the length that it's currently at without it being hemmed. So it's going to be the cropped style, so basically this is going to fold up, I think, by about that much. So it's going to be the crop style, which I really quite like. I think that's going to go with quite a lot of things in my wardrobe, like my high-waisted skirt that I've recently made, the Sadie skirt by Jayne at the Dressmakers closet. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how this is going to turn out. Now, Angela actually has the kit that she got from Guthrie Garney, which is in a, it's kind of like a, I want to say waterproof style fabric, but I think it's got a water repellent on it, but it's more of a quilted style fabric. And that's the one I tried on in the shop, and I really do like that fabric. So I kind of wish that I'd have bought the kit as well myself, because it probably would have ended up being about the same price for this, you know, because this wasn't cheap. I think this was about £20 a metre. And I bought way more than I needed. So I do actually have quite a bit left, and I'd be interested to see if I've got enough left to make another one, so that I can make one with the reverse side, because I really do like that as well. You know, so I'm doing this one as the outside, and I think you can make it reversible if you bias bind all the seams, which I am planning on doing, but I need to buy some bias binding, and I'm hopefully going to try and get some that's fairly soft so it doesn't make this seams really bulky. Yeah, so I'll report back with how I get on with that, and hopefully I'll end up liking the finished garment, you know. But yeah, I was a little bit worried about sort of cutting into that. And also when I came to start cutting it out, I then started questioning which way the quilting lines was supposed to go, because on this I've chosen to have it so that the quilting lines are going horizontal across my body, which was kind of what I had in my mindset before I started cutting it out. But then obviously if I put the selvages together, these quilt lines were actually running down the body. So I decided just to ignore the selvages because there's not really any give in this fabric, and I don't think you need any give in this pattern anyway. So I decided to do that so that they were running horizontal. But what I have done is for the neckband piece that goes around the front and around the neck, I've done that so the quilt lines are running vertically. So I've got a little bit of contrast there. So that should look quite nice. And then I possibly will be putting cuffs on the bottom of the sleeves as well, so I can kind of roll them back, and then you've got the other side of the fabric showing. So I think that would look quite nice. And I've got a lot of blue in my wardrobe, so this will go with a lot of my clothes and my high-waisted jeans and things like that. So far so good. I feel good that I've made a start on it. Obviously I haven't ended up finishing anything that I said I was going to for Me Made May, so I am sorry about that, but life is just so busy at the moment. I feel like I've got so much on every single week with the boys and their clubs, and then also as well because I am a cub leader, I've had things going on in the background with that as well, so that has taken up quite a lot of my time, but I'm not going to complain because I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, so that's where I got up to with my Me Made May pledge then. So at least I have made a start. I've made a dent in cutting the fabrics, but I will show you the finished garments as soon as they're finished kind of thing. So I think obviously that one's going to be finished first, and then I'll get on to making the others later this year, probably when I get back off holiday at the end of July. So next thing I wanted to talk to you about then was some t-shirts that I made for my boys. So I've been promising to make them some t-shirts for quite a long time, and I knew that I wanted to do some with some appliqued initials on the front for them. So I've been promising them for ages, and I finally got round to doing it. And I ended up using the Bobbins and Buttons Lee t-shirt pattern because I know that that fits my boys really well. So I'll just show you here, this is what the pattern looks like. So you do have the option of long sleeves on there, 3/4 length sleeves and short sleeves. So I've just done the short sleeve versions, and for each of them, I've made them up in the size that they are for their age. So Harry is currently 9, so I've made him the size 9, and my twins are currently 7, so I've made them the size 7. And so I made these up whilst I was at my sewing social, so that was really nice. And I've got Harry's here to show you because the other two are in the wash. And no word of a lie, they have been wearing them so much, which is really lovely because in the past, when I have made them things, they haven't tended to wear them. So I did for a while stop making them things because I was just like, it's just a waste of time if they're not going to wear them. But yeah, these ones they've been wearing, and they have been wearing them at the same time, which is really quite cute. So this is Harry's version, and I made it in this lovely cotton jersey fabric, which I got whilst I was at the Sewing for Pleasure show again. I can't remember where I got it from now, off the top of my head. Yes, Little Legs Fabrics. And these are really good quality jersey fabrics, really nice. And I got 1 metre of each, and I do have enough left over to hopefully make some pants or boxer shorts. And then what I did was I appliqued their initials onto the front. So this is Harry's one, obviously. And I used some of the African wax print fabric that my friend Maria gave me. Now, Maria, she is on Instagram, but she doesn't use her Instagram page as such. She's just got an account, and she follows me on there, and she also watches my YouTube channel, but she lives locally, and she bumped into me at our local swimming pool, which was really funny. So we've made really good friends, and so every time we are at the swimming, because her son goes and has swimming lessons at the same time as mine, we sit there and we talk all things dressmaking and fabric and stuff. So she has kindly gifted me some African wax prints fabrics that she had in her stash that she either had left over from other projects or she wasn't going to use. And this was one of the fabrics, and I just thought that the colour in that really went well with the actual jersey fabric itself. And I've used the same fabric for the applique on each of their t-shirts, even though they've got different colour jerseys. So I'll insert a photo of them wearing their t-shirts, and they are really happy with those. And all I did around the outside of the applique was to do a zigzag stitch, and I just made I think it's the width of it really close together. So it's not 100% perfect if you look at it, but you know, you'd have to get really close up to see that it's not, I don't know, perfect, but I'm happy with how it looks. It's secure, you know, and it's washed really well as well. I love the vibrant colours in it. So yeah, the boys are really happy with their t-shirts, and I'm just really pleased with how they've turned out. And I did use my twin needle for around the neck and obviously on the sleeves and the hem and stuff, but I did find on the hem, on all of their t-shirts, it came undone, even though I'd overlapped the stitches at the end. So I think what I need to do next time is bring the threads through to the back and tie them off in a knot or something, because I've had to go in and fix all of them, which has been really annoying. And it's because obviously they're active and they obviously wear and tear whilst they're wearing them. And they've just come undone, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, you've got thread hanging, and it's been the twin needle just on literally the bottom of the hem, so it's not been on the neckband or around the sleeves, luckily. But yeah, so I'm really pleased with how they turned out. Now the initials were from another t-shirt pattern, which is the Blake t-shirt, which is by Becky at Pattern Paper Scissors, I think it is. I always forget which way round that goes, but I'll insert the logo of her company. And I used the applique pack that came with that t-shirt because I didn't quite get on with the fit of that t-shirt, unfortunately, because I made Harry his Peter Rabbit t-shirt, if you remember, and there was quite a lot of excess underneath the arms, and I have since had a conversation with Becky about that, so I don't know if she's going to be looking at altering that pattern. But I just said that, yeah, it just wasn't quite the right fit, whereas the Lee t-shirt fits absolutely perfect. But I did use the applique pack, so I've cut out obviously their shapes, and all I did was cut them out of the fabric, and then I used some, it's like, I can't remember what it's called, I think it's called Heat and Bond, that you put on the back, and it's like got a backing paper, and you peel that off and it leaves a sticky residue, and then you can just iron that straight onto your jersey fabric or whatever. And then I just appliqued obviously over the edge with the zigzag stitch to keep that in place, and it stops it from fraying as well if you use that Heat and Bond. And I just got that off Amazon, but I'm pretty sure you can get it from haberdashery shops as well. So obviously I've cut out their initials. It was really easy to do the H and the T because obviously they're really central kind of letters. James's was a little bit more difficult because obviously the big bit is here, and I kind of had to centre it, you know, around this section here. So trying to do that by eye was quite difficult, but yeah, I got there in the end. So yeah, they were really good. The next thing I made up was a top for myself. And this is again using some African wax print fabric that Maria gave me. And I made it in this boxy sort of styled top. Absolutely love this fabric. It's really, really vibrant, and I love the colours in it. And I think this colour scheme goes with my skin tone quite nicely as well. So this was kind of a test for a particular pattern, which is the So Different triple tuck smock dress, which I've been wanting to make up, but I wasn't sure on what size to go with because even though it's quite an A-line style, and I'll insert the picture here of what that dress looks like, I thought I'd make up the sort of in a top version just to test for size. So I did cut out the size 10, I think, in that dress, but just chopping it off for a top version. I'm glad I did that because in the end I realised that actually it's going to be a little bit too small in the size 10, so next time I will cut it out in the size 12. And I just kind of chopped it off where I thought it would make a short sort of crop style top to wear with again with my high-waisted jeans. And I love the detailing on it. So if I bring it into you so you can see, because this fabric is quite busy, so it's very difficult to see, but it's got some pleat detailing here. And then at the bottom, you kind of only go down so far, and then it leaves this lovely pleat detail like that. And when you're wearing the dress, obviously that goes down the sort of centre of your body, and then it gives an A-line fit, and it's got a raglan sleeve as well. So the construction of this pattern is really, really simple, but it is really a nice style, what will be dress eventually, because I am going to be making the dress at some point, but I really like how this top has turned out. And with it being an African wax print fabric, it does hold the pleat detail really, really well. It doesn't make the sleeve stick out at all. It looks absolutely fine. I'll insert a photo of me wearing it with my shorts. I think I've got some denim shorts on when I took a photo of this, and I'm really pleased with how that's turned out. So I'll definitely make another one of those, and I am planning on making the dress version very soon. So I just need to retrace the pattern in a size 12, and I think that will fit my over my hips quite nicely. Although this fits on the top area, I did have to use 3/8 of an inch seam allowance instead of 5/8. So yeah, the size 10 is definitely too small for me. But I just wasn't sure, and you just got to try these things out, haven't you? So yeah, really happy with that top. The next thing I wanted to talk to you about was Harry's Peter Rabbit t-shirt. Not the one for himself, but one for his Peter Rabbit. Do you remember I said I was going to make one for his rabbit? Well, I ended up doing that, and I just sort of freestyle drew the t-shirt pattern. I didn't want to make it too complicated because obviously his stuffed toy is quite small, and so I ended up just lying Peter down and drawing around him, and I just made a basic little t-shirt pattern with grown on sleeves, and I just turned the neckline over and stitched around it and just did hems on the sleeves and the bottom. That's turned out really, really well. I cannot find it because he's took it off, his little Peter Rabbit cuddly, and he's put it somewhere and I don't know where it is. So I haven't got it physically here to show you, but I will insert a photo of Peter Rabbit wearing his little t-shirt, and you know how he likes to wear it whilst he's wearing his as well. Yeah, he hasn't been wearing his version so much recently because it's got long sleeves and it's quite warm. But I'm hoping probably to turn that into a short sleeved t-shirt version for him, because I think that the sleeves are going to get too short, because that was another thing I found was the sleeves were quite short for his age size. Yeah, so that's gone really well. And then earlier this year, if you remember, I made a lunar lapping rabbit, and I gave that to my niece Matilda, who turned 13 earlier this year, as her birthday present. And I did give it to her a little bit later because it took me a while to get it finished, because a lot of it is hand sewn, and I don't think I actually showed you it finished completely with the dress that I'd made for it. So I think I showed you the finished rabbit itself, but he was naked at that point. So, or she, should I say, because I made a dress. So I'll insert a photo of Luna Lappin wearing her dress. Really, really am happy with how that turned out, and I really enjoyed the process of that. And in actual fact, I am missing having her sat down. We had her sat down in our back room here, just on the coffee table. I miss seeing her little face. So I am going to order a pack and make another one up for myself as well, and I'll probably pop her in my bedroom on my closet called Poof or something like that. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you as well. Got my notes here because I've got so many things to share with you. Yeah, so, and also earlier this year you would have seen me making some fabric wreaths ready for the cubs to do a craft Mother's Day sort of session, and we did that over I think 2 or 3 weeks, and all of the cubs got involved and made their Mother's Day fabric wreaths, and they turned out really, really well. Unfortunately, I can't share a photo of all of the cubs with their wreaths because obviously I don't want to put other people's children on social media. And I've got here Harry's one, so you'll see actually how they turned out. And I think that is really quite effective. So I am really, really pleased with how the cubs got on doing their fabric wreaths. And I made the little fabric strips longer than necessary so they could cut them back afterwards. But by the time I got to the end of doing so many of them, I now know what size is the perfect size to make to do that. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head though, so I will put it across the bottom of the screen because I'm pretty sure it's something like 6 inches by 2 inches or something like that, and that's worked out really well. It's just on one of these wire wreaths that's got 2 wires, and I just got them off Amazon, and I bought like, I think it was a pack of 20. It did take a good few sessions to get them done, so it was quite a lengthy process to do that kind of craft, a lot longer than I thought it was going to be, and there was a few cubs that didn't come to the second session, and I ended up having to finish them off for them. So yeah, and I did chop off near enough the end of my finger, if you recall, when I was making these. But yeah, that's my one that Harry made for me, and then I did make some for my mum as well for Mother's Day. But yes, that's how they turned out, so I just thought I'd share that with you. So recently I have had a win on Instagram, and I thought I'd share with you my gift that was kindly sent to me off the back of this win off Instagram. Now this is from the Sewers Club, and I'll put their link in the description box below for their website, and I've only just recently opened this up. So this is how it comes, and what I actually won was their stash builder box, and inside there is a number of fat quarters, as you can see here, in some beautiful colours and designs. So I think you can buy these as a one-off, or you can set up a subscription, I believe. And I know at the moment they literally shared this morning a discount code on getting your hands on one of these with 30% off. So I took a screenshot of that so I can share it with you. Let me just have a look what that was. So 30% off your first box with code INSTA30. So I'll put that across the bottom of the screen. So it looks as though it's just off your first box, and it's a stash builder box. So it's like fat quarters. So essentially, if you are a quilter, this would be ideal for you. Or if you are somebody who just needs a small selection of fabrics, and again, it'd be perfect for you. So if you make a lot of children's clothes, this would be great. And also it would be good if you are somebody who does a bit of free motion machine embroidery. It's always handy to have these sorts of things as well. So yeah, that was really nice to receive that. I haven't used any of them as yet. I haven't even unfolded any of them, but there's some really, really lovely patterns and designs in there, as you can see. So it's nice to have some plains as well. There's 1 or 2 plains in there. They'd make great bunting as well, actually. But yeah, that's really, really nice. So I will link that, like I say, in the description box below for you. And if you are interested in that kind of thing, then take advantage of the fact that they've got 30% off for your first box at the moment. So, because I don't know how long that is valid for, it doesn't actually say. So off the back of talking about free motion machine embroidery then, I am actually part of the Poppy Treffery Summer Embroidery Club this year. We've had 3 projects through so far. I can't remember how many there is for this season, but I think there's probably about 4 if I'm thinking right. And I've printed off the 3 that we've got to do. So the first one that they had was this picnic blanket. So it's kind of stored in a bag, and I think it's quite a big blanket. And you just sort of, here it shows you sort of the squares. So it's a 9-patch kind of design, and then you just embroider on, I think it's the blank ones there. So I haven't actually started any of these projects yet because, again, time restraints on my life at the moment. But I'm just printing them off and putting them to one side. So when I do eventually get around to them, I will do some. Again, I didn't do the Christmas one either, but I've got that there to do at some other point. And then the next one was a swimmy pouch kind of thing. So I think it's just like a zip little pouch with these swimming ladies on there. So yeah, that looks like a really nice one. I love a zip pouch, so that might jump to the top of the queue out of those. And then the other one that's come through just this week is a sunglasses case, and that would be really nice to make, actually, because I constantly have my sunglasses on my head, actually, and sometimes if I haven't got my plaits in and I lean back, they always fall off the back of my head, and I'm always scared of breaking them. So that would be quite nice to actually just pop them in my bag or something. Yeah, so that's a really nice one as well. So they come round every now and again, these embroidery clubs, on the Poppy Treffery website. If you sign up for their newsletter, then I think you will get notified of those. And they always give out the option of having the materials pack, where they send all the materials to you, which is obviously at an added cost. Or you can just do the online version, where they give you the pattern pieces, you get the video for the instructions on how to do it, and then you just source your own fabrics, which is what I tend to do, because I've usually got offcuts of fabric that are left over from previous projects that will work adequately, and like things with those fat quarters that would work perfectly for it as well. So yeah, and then I think I did buy an array of like plain fabrics last time I did a club, and I just used those. So, you know, because you only need small pieces for a lot of them, you know, like for example, you know, this rainbow, or the sun here rather, you know, it's only very small pieces. The bigger pieces could probably be offcuts of just projects that you've done before, garments that you've made before really, or even cut up a pair of old jeans and things like that. But I really enjoy doing that style of stitching, and I haven't done it for quite a while, so I'll probably be a little bit rusty, but I'm excited to have another go at that. I think that's all my sewing that I've got to talk to you about at the moment. But one thing I did want to share was earlier this year, if you watched, I think it was possibly January, February time, I did a video and I gave away an embroidery hoop sort of box project that I'd won, again off Instagram. And I gave it away in one of my videos to, I think I just did a random draw, like a giveaway. And the lady who had won it was Linda Tyndall. And she kindly emailed me with a picture of what she'd done with that embroidery hoop. So thank you so much, Linda, for sharing that. I truly appreciate it. And I'll insert a photo of that as well, so you can see how it turned out. And I think it looks really, really lovely. It definitely wasn't something that I could do. I'm not a hand embroiderer, so I think she's done an amazing job. And whilst she emailed that to me, she did also email me a photo of herself wearing the Tilling the Buttons Cleo pinafore dress, as she'd watched one of my videos where I'd explained how I interline the Cleo or dungaree dress, because I like to have a sort of a slippy inside if I wear it with tights. And so she did do that off the back of my video, and she sent me a photo of her wearing her version, which I think she looks absolutely marvellous in. So thank you, Linda, for sharing that. I truly appreciate it. Yes, so is there anything else I need to speak to you about? Oh yes, I recently placed an order with Anna from Pattern Pouch Nest, and she had a sale on a little while ago, and I made a little purchase of a pincushion that she stocks, and I absolutely love this. I've just took it out of the box because I keep it in the box to keep it clean, and I purchased the honeycomb one, or the hive rather, and I absolutely love that. It's like a sort of Hessian linen type fabric with these embroidered bees on from felt, and I've got my little heart pins in there, and that's really, really nice size, and I keep it next to my sewing machine, and you know, just stab it with my pins as I'm going along. I try not to stab the bees, I just can't bring myself to do that. But yeah, I really, really like these, and she's got quite a nice selection of pincushions on her website, which again I'll link in the description box below for you. She also does sell fabrics and other haberdashery items and gifty kind of things, but her main product on her website is her pattern pouches. So I will link that down below for you so you can go and have a look at your leisure. But yeah, I thought I'd just share that with you because I think that would make a really nice gift, if not for yourself, for somebody else. Yeah, and she's got another 3, I think, different variations of a pincushion available. Right, so I'm going to crack on with talking to you about some crochet. Earlier this year, I made some crochet bees for my Easter tree. So every year I just get some branches from outside, stick them in a jug vase that I've got, and I hook onto the actual branches some little eggs and other bits and bobs that are kind of Easter themed, even some little pom-poms. And I decided to make some little crochet bees, which I got the pattern off the Make a Beeline website. So I'll put that across the bottom of the screen and link it down below for you. And I really enjoyed making those because they're really quick and easy to do if you're a crocheter. And it's all done in the round, which I find is the easiest style of crochet for myself. And then I went on to make the bigger ones. So I'll insert a photo of the small ones first because I can't for the life of me find where I put them. I've put all my Easter bits and bobs in a box somewhere and put them away safe, and I can't remember where I put them. I cannot find them, so I'm hoping I'm going to be able to find them by next Easter. But I went on to make the big bee, which was off the same website. So this is the big bee. As you can see, it's quite big. Now with this one, I did find that the way it crocheted up was slightly different to a bee that I'd made previously. And as you can see at the back here, it's quite gappy where you can see the stuffing in it, and I don't really like that. And I did also use a different pattern for the wings because I didn't like the way they'd done the wings for their big bee. So this is also off the Make a Beeline website. So it's a decent enough pattern, don't get me wrong, but I just preferred the one I'd done previously, which I did purchase the pattern for. So the one that I've previously made is this pattern here. And I think I might have shared this with you before because I did make one for my friend. And this is from, I don't know if I can actually tell you. Let's have a look. It should have the details of where I got it from. It's from Cute Cuddles Crochet. And I think I got it off their Etsy shop. So again, I will link that down below for you. And I just prefer that the way this bee is crocheted up. You can obviously omit this stalk and leaf, which I am now in the process of making another one. So I shall show you I've literally only just started it, but this is currently how the front is looking. So you can see the difference in the stitches. So this is your double crochet in UK terms. I think that's single crochet in US terms, but the way they did this one was different. I can't remember what the stitches were, but it just made it a lot more gappy. But I did use the wing pattern off this one. As you can see, the wings are the same there, just because I preferred how they looked. So I'm more than happy with how that has turned out, but I thought I'd have a go at making another one in this lovely wool that I've got. It has got a little bit of sparkle in it. You're probably not going to be able to see that. And I got that from my local shop in the village, which is like a cheap shop. It just sells a bit of everything. Yeah, and the step-by-step instructions in this is really, really good. So I highly recommend this pattern if you like to make a bee one. This one has a little face on it. Did I put a face on? Oh yeah, I did. I did put a smiley face on that one. But yeah, I really liked how the little ones had turned out. That was just double crochet in the round for those. But yeah, it was a different stitch for these. So as it was a different stitch, it did crochet up quicker than how this one is, because this is obviously a tighter stitch, but I prefer how this one looks finished compared to this one. So yeah, I just thought I would share that with you. So that's what I've been crocheting recently. Now the next thing I am going to crochet, which I got this pattern off Etsy as well, is Robin the Fox Scout. And I'll show you a picture of how he looks. I mean, how cute is he? And obviously the reason I want to make this is because I want to make a mascot for our cub group. And I just thought that this was perfect because it's a fox, and Leicester is kind of the mascot for Leicester is the fox, because the football team, I think, is the mascot for the football team is a fox, and they're called the Leicester Foxes or something like that. So I just thought that that was quite apt. It's a fox, and obviously I now help lead the cub group, and you know, you can change the colour of the necker and things like that. So yeah, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to look forward to making that. I mean, I think it'll take me a little while because it looks quite involved, but again, the instructions, you know, are step by step. And I just got that from Etsy as well. I think it may well be in US terms. Yes, it is. So I would just have to convert that into UK terms, which is fine, because I think the majority of it states it as single crochet, and obviously in UK terms that's double crochet, so that's fine. And then anything that I struggle with, I usually just put it into the search on YouTube, and it helps me to do those stitches. So I kind of self-taught myself to crochet through YouTube, really. And I will say that if you are somebody who's looking to get into crocheting and you start off with the granny square, then I highly recommend Mary Matthews Handmade tutorials on her YouTube channel, because her granny square tutorial is spot on. That is how I managed to get the knack of it. Yeah, I do find that the amigurumi, I think that's how you say it, crocheting quite easy to do, as long as you keep track of your stitches and counting and that kind of thing. Yes, so before I go then, I just wanted to recommend a couple of new YouTubers, and one of those is the lovely Anne from Summer Room Sewing. She has a number of videos up now, but she is one of the newer YouTubers, and I really do like her style, and I love the fact that she uses really vibrant colours in the clothes that she makes. So I'll link her channel down below as well. And Gemma from The Daily Thread, she is my lovely friend from our Felicity Fabrics blogger group, and she has had an Instagram sort of page for quite a number of years now, and she's now ventured out into doing her own YouTube channel. So she's got, I think about 2 or 3 videos up already, and you know, I've really enjoyed watching those, and I look forward to seeing what else she brings out. So I will link both of those channels down below for you, so you can go and check them out and give them a little follow. So I think that is everything off my list that I wanted to share with you today. So moving forwards, I'm hoping that I'll have some more makes to share with you. I don't think I've made anything else. No, I'm sorry about the clicking noise above as well. It's the corrugated roof. Yeah, I think that's everything really. So yeah, I'm just going to bring to you next time some more of my makes that I'm hoping to get done. Myself and Angela from Devon Thread Tales actually are looking to do a collaboration together. We haven't done one for ages, and I think we did do the Wilder gown together and never ended up bringing a video out about that, because I think we just got really, really busy and we just couldn't fit it in. So we're looking to share with you the Anstey pattern by Tilling the Buttons. Now, I think there's a divide in opinion about this pattern. Some people love it, and some people think, you know, it's not all that great, and I know quite a few people have had a bit of a fit issue with the top section, especially across the top area here where it has been gaping and doing that kind of thing. So a lot of people have had fit issues across there, and Angela has been doing a toile of the top as we speak, and she has had numerous problems with it. I have to say I haven't tried it myself yet. I haven't even printed the pattern off, so we are looking to do that as soon as possible. So we will bring our videos to you and our feedback on how we get on with that. But yeah, I think for such a simple pattern, it does seem that people are having quite a few fit issues with that, especially if you are somebody who has a bust. I think that's the problem. It has bust darts, but if you're fairly flat chested, then I don't think you will have too much of an issue being one size and then that fitting quite flush across your body, you know, if you haven't got much of a chest there. But if you're somebody who has a chest and you have to go up a size for that, then this is going to tend to gape. So I haven't tried it for myself, but I'm thinking, looking at other people's, I will definitely be downsizing to the size 3, most likely, and I will see how that fits on me. So I think I'm broader across here than Angela is, so I think she's got a little bit more of a difference between her upper bust and her bust measurement, whereas mine isn't such a big difference. I think I'm a little bit smaller chested than Angela is, but I'm wider across my shoulder area, so I may find that I don't have an issue, but we will see, because when we both made the New Look 6446 jumpsuit, she had an issue with that area being quite gapey, or even around here I think it was, whereas I didn't have any issue whatsoever. So yeah, it's going to be quite interesting. Now I don't know if we're going to be bringing the full coordinated set to you, or if we're just going to do the top version of it at the moment, because I really like the trousers that came with the Friday Pattern Company Sewcial set. I really do like the fit of those trousers, so I think, you know, if it's not broken, don't fix it, just go with those trousers and make the top to go with those, because I think they're essentially very similar shape to the ones by the Anstey, but I like the way the pockets are on the Sewcial set. So I'm thinking I'll probably do that, as it's a tried and tested pattern for me anyway. But I really like the fact that you can tuck in that top and make it look like a faux kind of jumpsuit. And also with the Sewcial set, obviously you do show your midriff off if you don't lengthen the top. And I think I would prefer to be walking around in everyday life here in the UK to have that area covered. I don't feel comfortable wearing the Sewcial set out and about unless I'm on holiday. I just don't feel comfortable. So yeah, I didn't actually wear it on the school run. I just wore it whilst I was on holiday last year. So yeah, we're hoping to bring that to you at some point very soon. So I need to get the pattern printed out, stuck together, can't even speak, and yeah, test out the fit first before I cut it out in the fabric that I'm going to use. Now I have an idea of fabric that I'm going to use, which I have used a long time ago in the past when I made my first ever New Look 6446 jumpsuit, which was in a paisley print fabric, black and white, which I don't wear black and white very often, but I really like that fabric. It's a crepe fabric that has a wool content, so it's got some nice weight to it, but it has really nice drape as well, and I think it's going to be perfect for that pattern. So it'd be quite a nice one to do as a transition piece into evening wear, you know, like if you go out, because it's got that monotone sort of colourway to it. I've seen Cara at So Mad has made 2 beautiful versions out of that cord set, so yeah, it looks really lovely on her, so I'm looking forward to trying that out, and fingers crossed I don't have any fit issues. And poor Angela, she's been twirling it over the last few days, and has yeah, it went in the naughty corner one evening, let's just say that. So it'd be interesting to see how we both get on with it, and we'll give you both of our feedback, so I hope you look forward to watching that. Right, I think I have chatted the hind legs off you. I'm really sorry. I just wanted to do an update sort of video. And I will say, moving forwards, I'm just going to have to upload as and when I can and share with you what I can, really, where I'm at with things. I'm really sorry that I can't bring you monthly makes. I just don't have the amount of makes to share with you because I'm not sewing as often, and I'm just struggling to fit it all in, if I'm honest. But I do want to keep my presence here on YouTube sort of alive, so please do help me out with that by giving this video a like if you haven't done so. Stop the video now, like it, and then please come back and subscribe if you haven't already as well. That would be lovely. So thank you so much for all your lovely comments as always, and thank you for tuning in today. I hope you have enjoyed the update video, and I shall hopefully come back to you soon with some more makes. Okay, take care everybody, bye.